Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? We're back with a brand new action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Flash, part of the Gold Label collection, and it is a Walmart exclusive here in the States. But like we always do with reviews, y'all know how this works. Let's take a look at the box art first. It's your standard McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse box. You already seen this before. It's the Gold Label collection imprint right there, letting you know this is worth $8,000. Then it says DC Multiverse, the Flash Dawn of DC, and of course the back is the artwork of the Flash. That's enough about that. Let's go and get Flash out of the box. Alright, here's the Flash out of the box. Let's take a look at his accessories first. So he comes with a base plate like you see with all McFarlane Toys figures. This Wally West Flash comes with 4 effect pieces that go around his body. So I think these go around the legs, and these smaller pieces go around the arms. But we've seen this before. I'm trying to remember which figure it was. Somebody in the comments below remind me. And just like all McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures, he comes with a data file card. So it's the same image artwork you saw on the back of the box. And on the back is the data file. Feel free to pause it if you want to go ahead and read it. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. I'm going to get started with the head sculpt first. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, when this photo of this figure first came on the McFarlane Toys Instagram page, I thought it was a vampire or Jokerized version just because the smile is so incredibly, I don't know, wide on this. But upon further looking at the head sculpt, I think the head sculpt has more of a realistic aesthetic to it than a comic book aesthetic. And I think that's why some people are giving this smile kind of a second guess, or kind of like apprehensive about the head sculpt. I think it looks fine. It kind of looks more like a live action head sculpt to me, even though it's supposed to be based off the comic book version. But it's funny, when I look at this head sculpt, it kind of looks like Walton Goggins as the Flash.
What a dumbass. All right, here.
Yeah, overall, I will say the head sculpt does look nice.
Oh, well, good. I hope you enjoy him. I'm sure you will, as bad as you are.
I'm going to take a look at the rest of the figure. This is essentially just a 100%, besides the head sculpt, 100% reuse of the Rebirth Barry Allen Flash that came out in year 1 of McFarlane Toys having the DC Multiverse license, which the body mold isn't that bad. I kind of like the other one better, which I'll bring out here in a second, the Flashpoint one. But for Wally West Flash, this works. The only thing I would say is I wish they had alternate hands, just because I get that they had this one. It should be nice if they had like 2-fisted ones, but yeah, overall it's basically the same body mold. The red is a little bit brighter and more vibrant. There's more contrast on this as opposed to the Rebirth one. It was a little bit more muted, and it had some more paint work within the suit. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad body mold. I just tend to prefer the Flashpoint one. But for Wally West, this body mold works. Just kind of a side-by-side comparison when I was talking about how I prefer the other body mold. So this is, of course, the Blue Beetle Booster Gold body mold here on the left, the Flashpoint Flash. This is currently the one being displayed in my Justice League display. And I like this body mold for Barry Allen's Flash, for this look, because the aesthetics, he looks like your traditional classic Flash. This one is a little bit more slender in terms of its proportions and the overall aesthetic. And I think this works for Wally West, in my opinion. But the cool thing about this one is that it's reminiscent of what McFarlane Toys used to do, the sculpted emblem, whereas now a lot of stuff is just painted on, which I understand. But in terms of, oops, that's not going on the blooper. Let's just keep running this go. Let's just keep filming. But in terms of the body mold and Flash, which one do y'all prefer? The Barry Allen Flashpoint Flash on this Blue Beetle Booster Gold body mold, or this Wally West body mold that's reusing the Barry Allen Rebirth Flash? And since I already had the Barry Allen Flash out here, I thought, why not add another speedster for this size comparison? So the first size comparison here is next to the Flashpoint Flash on the left and Impulse on the right. And man, when I see this Impulse figure, it's nice, but it's just like, he shouldn't be this tall. And this is kind of my thing with the line now. Like, I've kind of accepted that scaling is pretty much non-existent. The figures still look nice, don't get me wrong. It's just like scaling within the own line just doesn't exist, in my opinion. Next size comparison, here's the Flash standing next to the Hush Batman black and gray variant on the left, and the Hush Superman on the right with the Rebirth head sculpt. Next size comparison, here's the Flash next to some of his foes. We have the Reverse Flash on the left and the Gorilla Grodd on the right from the Injustice 2 video game. And this, of course, is using the same body mold as this one here. And the thing about this Gorilla Grodd, I think it's pretty underrated in my opinion. Yes, there could have been more range of movement and accessories, but he's a freaking gorilla in armor. I think in terms of sculpt, this is probably one of their most slept on sculpts in the line so far. Now time for a random ass size comparison, but keeping it within the McFarlane Toys banner. Here is the next couple of My Hero Academia figures. Y'all already know how this works.
My shit in heart.
Alright, some overall thoughts on the figure. I think it's okay. It's a nice reuse of this body mold, which I think is good for Wally West Flash. The Barry Allen Rebirth Flash I wasn't really a fan of, but this one has more of a truer classic look to it as opposed to the Rebirth one, which had a lot of details on it. But I do like this figure. I like this body mold for this specific character. And the head sculpt, admittedly, before, like I said, I was a little bit apprehensive, but upon further looking at it and having it in hand, it kind of has a live action aesthetic. That's why it looks a little bit different from other comic book characters in the DC Multiverse line. But I'll definitely be posing him with my JLA collection once I get that Plastic Man wave in hand. But let me know what you think about this figure in the comments below. YouTubers, sound off the comments below. Like always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.